Copper theft is a significant issue impacting the construction industry. A recent incident involved 4 homes in a new subdivision, each approximately 2,000 square feet, falling victim to copper thieves. The damage was extensive. In houses with sheetrock, the thieves cut wires in the electrical panels and between staples in the attic. In a house without sheetrock, they cut all the switch legs and home runs. The estimated damage exceeds $10,000. The suspected motive is the theft of copper for scrap. The financial impact on electricians is considerable. The price of 12/2 wire has significantly increased. Currently, 12/2 wire is priced at $412 per 1,000 feet, or $103 a roll. To compensate for these increased material costs, electricians are raising their labor rates. One electrician has raised their rate to $2.75 per square foot, with a potential increase to $3 per square foot by the end of the year. Copper theft poses a major challenge for electricians and the construction industry. It leads to significant financial losses and project delays. Electricians are compelled to implement additional security measures to protect their materials, further escalating project costs. Recommended precautions include the following. Firstly, store copper materials in a secure location. Secondly, use anti-theft devices, such as alarms or locks. Thirdly, report any suspicious activity to local authorities. Fourthly, consider using alternative materials, such as aluminum, when possible. Copper theft can have far-reaching effects. It not only impacts individual electricians and homeowners, but also inflates construction costs and delays project timelines. Understanding the scope of the problem and implementing preventative measures is crucial to mitigate the risks associated with copper theft. The economic repercussions of copper theft extend beyond the immediate cost of replacing stolen materials. Insurance premiums may increase, and construction companies may face higher security expenses. Moreover, the disruption caused by theft can lead to missed deadlines and potential penalties. Electricians and contractors should adopt a comprehensive approach to theft prevention. This includes conducting thorough risk assessments, implementing robust security protocols, and educating employees about the importance of safeguarding materials. Collaboration with law enforcement agencies and neighborhood watch programs can also help deter criminal activity. In addition to physical security measures, electricians should explore alternative wiring materials and techniques. Aluminum wiring, for example, may be a suitable substitute for copper in certain applications. While aluminum has its own set of considerations, it can offer a cost-effective and less attractive target for thieves. Furthermore, advancements in wireless technology may provide opportunities to reduce the amount of copper wiring required in new construction projects. Smart home systems and other wireless devices can communicate without the need for extensive copper infrastructure. By embracing innovation and exploring alternative solutions, electricians can minimize their reliance on copper and reduce their vulnerability to theft. The rise in copper prices is a major driver of copper theft. When the market value of copper increases, the incentive for thieves to steal it also increases. Economic factors play a significant role in shaping the landscape of copper theft. Monitoring copper prices and adjusting security measures accordingly is essential. Electricians should also consider implementing inventory management systems to track copper materials and detect any discrepancies. Regular audits and reconciliation of inventory can help identify potential theft and prevent further losses. Insurance coverage is another important aspect of managing the risks associated with copper theft. Electricians should review their insurance policies to ensure they have adequate coverage for theft and vandalism. It is also advisable to maintain detailed records of all copper materials and equipment. This will facilitate insurance claims in the event of a theft. In addition to the direct costs of copper theft, there are also indirect costs to consider. These include the cost of downtime, the cost of investigating the theft, and the cost of repairing any damage caused by the thieves. A comprehensive risk management plan should take all of these costs into account. Electricians should also be aware of the legal consequences of buying or selling stolen copper. It is illegal to purchase copper from unlicensed sources, and those who do so may face criminal charges. Reporting suspicious activity to law enforcement agencies is crucial to combating copper theft. Electricians and contractors should encourage their employees and subcontractors to report any suspicious behavior they observe. Collaboration between law enforcement agencies, electricians, and contractors is essential to addressing the problem of copper theft. Law enforcement agencies can provide valuable resources and support to help prevent and investigate copper theft. Electricians and contractors can provide valuable information about the methods used by thieves and the types of materials they target. Together, these stakeholders can develop strategies to deter criminal activity and protect the construction industry. Copper theft is a complex problem with no easy solutions. However, by taking a proactive approach to theft prevention, electricians and contractors can minimize their risk and protect their businesses. This includes implementing robust security measures, exploring alternative materials, and collaborating with law enforcement agencies. The consequences of copper theft can be devastating. In addition to the financial losses, there is also the emotional toll of being a victim of crime. Electricians and contractors should take steps to protect themselves and their employees from the trauma of copper theft. This includes providing counseling services and support groups for those who have been affected by theft. Copper theft is not just a problem for electricians and contractors. It is a problem for the entire community. When copper is stolen, it can disrupt essential services such as electricity and telecommunications. It can also lead to increased crime rates and a decline in property values. Everyone has a role to play in combating copper theft. This includes reporting suspicious activity, supporting law enforcement agencies, and educating others about the risks of copper theft. By working together, we can create a safer and more secure community for all. The future of copper theft is uncertain. However, it is likely that copper theft will continue to be a problem as long as copper prices remain high. Electricians and contractors must remain vigilant and continue to adapt their security measures to meet the evolving threat. This includes staying informed about the latest trends in copper theft and implementing new technologies to deter criminal activity. The rise in copper theft also raises questions about the long-term sustainability of copper as a building material. As copper becomes more expensive and more vulnerable to theft, alternative materials may become more attractive. Electricians and contractors should explore these alternatives and consider their potential benefits. The use of aluminum wiring has been considered an option, and it is lighter and cheaper than copper, but requires larger gauge wires for the same ampacity and has a higher expansion rate and can corrode when put in contact with some dissimilar metals. As technology advances, new materials and methods of construction may emerge that reduce or eliminate the need for copper altogether. This could be a game changer in the fight against copper theft. Copper theft is a serious problem that requires a comprehensive and coordinated response. Electricians, contractors, law enforcement agencies, and the community as a whole must work together to combat this crime and protect our homes, businesses, and infrastructure. The recent rise in copper prices has made copper theft even more attractive to criminals. This has led to a surge in copper theft incidents across the country. Electricians and contractors are on the front lines of this battle. They are the ones who are most directly affected by copper theft, and they are the ones who must take the lead in preventing it. The cost of replacing stolen copper can be significant. In addition to the cost of the copper itself, there is also the cost of labor to install the new copper, the cost of downtime, and the cost of potential damage to equipment. Copper theft can also lead to increased insurance premiums. Electricians and contractors should take steps to minimize their risk of copper theft. This includes implementing robust security measures, exploring alternative materials, and collaborating with law enforcement agencies. There are a number of security measures that electricians and contractors can take to prevent copper theft. These include installing security cameras, using alarm systems, and storing copper in secure locations. It is also important to train employees on how to identify and report suspicious activity. The use of alternative materials can also help to reduce the risk of copper theft. Aluminum wiring is one alternative that is less attractive to thieves. Collaboration with law enforcement agencies is essential to combating copper theft. Electricians and contractors should report any suspicious activity to the police. They should also work with the police to develop strategies to prevent copper theft. Copper theft is a serious problem that requires a coordinated response. Electricians, contractors, law enforcement agencies, and the community as a whole must work together to combat this crime. The increased cost of copper has significantly affected the electrical industry. This has led to higher prices for electrical work and increased financial burden on electricians and contractors. The rise in copper theft has further exacerbated this problem. Electricians and contractors must now factor in the cost of security measures to protect their materials from theft. This has added to the already high cost of doing business. The increasing cost of copper has also made it more difficult for electricians and contractors to compete with unlicensed contractors. Unlicensed contractors may be willing to cut corners and use cheaper materials to undercut licensed contractors. This can lead to substandard electrical work and potentially dangerous situations. Electricians and contractors must continue to provide high-quality electrical work and adhere to all safety codes and regulations, despite the increasing cost of copper. The copper theft crisis has also highlighted the need for greater cooperation between electricians, contractors, and law enforcement agencies. By working together, these groups can help to prevent copper theft and protect the electrical industry. The impact of copper theft on homeowners and businesses can be significant. In addition to the cost of replacing stolen copper, there is also the cost of downtime and potential damage to equipment. Copper theft can also lead to increased insurance premiums. Homeowners and businesses should take steps to protect their property from copper theft. This includes installing security cameras, using alarm systems, and storing copper in secure locations. Homeowners and businesses should also report any suspicious activity to the police. The copper theft crisis is a serious problem that requires a coordinated response from all stakeholders. Electricians, contractors, law enforcement agencies, homeowners, and businesses must work together to combat this crime and protect our communities. The high cost of copper is a major driver of copper theft. As long as copper prices remain high, copper theft will continue to be a problem. Electricians, contractors, and homeowners must remain vigilant and take steps to protect their property from copper theft. The use of alternative materials can also help to reduce the risk of copper theft. Aluminum wiring is one alternative that is less attractive to thieves. Homeowners should be aware that aluminum wiring requires special installation techniques and should only be installed by a qualified electrician. Copper theft is a crime that affects everyone. By working together, we can help to prevent copper theft and protect our communities. The current state of the electrical industry is being shaped by the rising cost of copper and the increasing problem of copper theft. Electricians and contractors are facing new challenges and must adapt to these changing conditions. The future of the electrical industry will depend on how well we can address these challenges and continue to provide safe and reliable electrical services. Copper theft prevention strategies are vital. Implementing them is not merely a suggestion but a necessary practice to safeguard your business, materials, and ultimately the well-being of the community you serve. Remember that vigilance, proactive security measures, and collaboration with law enforcement are your greatest assets in this fight against copper theft.